Today's video is brought to you by Michter's Bourbon. I'm gonna get a shot of this right here. Michter's Bourbon. They're not paying us to say this, but this stuff is good.
So maybe they should pay us.
Yeah.
What's up, you guys? It's the one and only Reklusive here, and I'm going to be doing the explainer video for my album, The Far Side of Normal, which came out May 5th. I'm here with my one and only producer.
My name is Jared.
And like I said, we're going to be breaking down the album while enjoying some delicious cocktails.
What Reklusive means to say is that we are going to start this morning off. It's only about 11 a.m.
in the morning.
We're going to have a drink, and we're going to see how far we can get down the album before things start to not even make sense.
In other words, it's going to get fucking weird.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Just finished up that Cabo, bitch. Fishbowl on the rocks, now we finna.
As you guys know, The Far Side of Normal dropped May 5th. It was my very first album that took an extensive amount of time to create, just because, you know, life. What can you say? The Far Side of Normal was just a representation of myself being just a normal dude. As you can see, like, I don't have tattoos on my face. I don't have massive amounts of blingage on me. I really am just a normal dude, but, you know, the more that you dive into my very chaotic brain, you get to see multiple different sides of me. But, you know, the album itself was broken into 3 parts: Normality, Section Red, and The Descent. It's pretty straightforward. Like, Normality, you have a lot of the just turn up songs, you know, the straight rapping, you know, and everything like that. Section Red was you know, I would say they were love songs. You could say. A lot more
love songs.
Yeah, intimate songs that really got progressively more X-rated during pandemic. So, and you went to The Descent, which I really start to open up and talk about a lot of things that I never really had before.
As he grabs for his drink.
Yeah. The key things I wanted to focus on within the album was giving the listener different elements. I didn't just want to do just a rap album. You know, I don't like the concept of being labeled just a rapper. I wanted to do more. And that's why I have songs with jazz. Like, I have rock crossovers. I have, I'm fucking singing on the album. You know, I have a orchestral song on the album. Like, it's all over the place.
There's so many things I want to say.
So the very first, the opening, the intro on the album was the beginning of my release, and it's all spoken word. It's me, you know, just speaking to God, just opening up, you know, about questioning, you know, like, I guess the actions that I made, you know, along the way throughout life, and only coming to Him, you know, whenever I was upset with myself. Like, spoken word is actually how I started learning how to rap. I used to actually play an instrument when I was young. I went to middle school, got picked on a lot for being the black kid with spiky hair and who played the fucking saxophone. And so it killed my career in terms of playing an instrument. But hanging out with all the fucking little hoodlums, I started to learn how to do build a beat, you know, when you're, you know, like being, oh, that was horrible. You know, build a beat, like being, beating on the table, your chest, you know, other people would freestyle at the tables at the lunch and everything like that. I never did it because I was always so nervous, but what I would do was I would go home and I would write stuff, and it was never in the terms of, like a song. It was always, like I said, just spoken word, and I was doing that for years. And then towards high school is when I started to like put together actual rhyme patterns. But again, I just kept it to myself. I didn't know how people were going to react to a 4-minute intro and not even like a normal song. It was all spoken word.
As a listener to it for the first time, and like with the album, it helps you invest in like the rest of what you're about to hear.
Yeah.
Because like you said, there's 3 parts to it where it's intro, Normality, and then Section Red and Descent.
Yeah.
So I think like to invest or buy into all 3 of those things you're gonna hear and so they're not just completely random like what, like the intro like is perfect.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna hear the whole album, you gotta listen to it full front to back, top to bottom.
Yeah, no skips, okay?
Yeah.
Which brings us to Energy, featuring the one and only.
Yeah, this hidden energy can be some people's remedy.
Energy was the very first song that we put together when we started this stuff. So we've been, this is our baby, honestly.
So I had no idea that this guy rapped at all. He went off overseas, and then so he shows up, is like, oh, hey, like, I want to make some songs. I'm going to come over and we're just going to make a beat. And I, like, just got Logic Pro at that time.
Yeah.
And I was just trying to figure out how to use it. Anthony came over and lived at my house for, like, a weekend. Just basically did whatever he told me. It's like, boom, pap. Okay, you like that? All right, I'll just loop that.
And then, obviously, you know, with him being a master guitar player, he had to lay down the leads. But and that's another key element. I love the concept of genre bending. Like I said, I don't want it just to be just straight rap. I love live instruments. I love just music in general. And I think if you have the ability to mix as many influence as you can within your music, you should. I grew up listening to rock and heavy metal, and I got that from my mom, which I explained through the song. I listened to Metallica, I listened to System of a Down, Iron Maiden, eventually Slipknot. I didn't start listening to rap until I was like late into middle school, as you know, we were saying. So I wanted the first real song, again, to just be this rock-infused banger, you know, with someone who is now like my brother, and just to hit you with something different.
He also made me write the hook on the spot. And
on the spot.
Don't like doing that. That made me very uncomfortable. It was a setup not unlike this professional setup where it was a computer right next to my bed, and I told him, I was like, oh, you want me to do the hook? Okay, yeah, I can think of something. And he's like, so, okay.
Yeah,
like, watch it.
Go
okay.
on.
I was like, oh, shit. So I remember laying in the bed, like, listening to the song over and over again on my bed, just like...
I remember sitting in a chair, too, just like this.
Yeah. And I was like, this is not going to be good. But at the same time, I think it pushed me out of my comfort zone a little bit and helped a lot in that regard. But also, fuck you. Got 18 more songs to do, folks.
Woo! Next is the Booty Song. It's pretty straightforward. It's a nice turn-up song. I'm hoping this catches on TikTok because I'm trying to see some ass shake. You know what I'm saying?
Ready, set, go.
Ready, set, go. Just kidding. No, I'm not. It's pretty straightforward. You know, in the very first bar, I just said, I just made this song so I could see my girly twerk. Simple as that. The beat itself was produced by LD and Calling. It's a pretty straightforward song, just a nice turn-up song. And as you could tell off of the lyrics, I'm an ass man.
That was the alternate name for the song. Ass man.
Ass man.
I am an ass man.
I'm an ass man.
So many I'm an ass man. The ass man. The ass man song.
Which, again,
I like ass.
Part of the lyrics were in Spanish too, which I am currently learning Spanish because I want to bring it back to the family. It died off with my great grandma, and I want to bring it back.
Just finished up that Cabo, bitch.
Johnny V's.
Johnny V's.
Johnny V's.
I'm pulling out on my
Johnny
floor
V's.
for
Yeah, rip. But this beat was produced by him.
Yeah. I guess it was just like a club beat. I don't know. I just noodle around at night with beats if I have nothing to do. And then I'm not going to rap to them. So I just pass them along to whoever might want to use them. So just like randomly shit out this beat that I felt like I would want to like hear in a club. And the first person I thought of was Reklusive. I was like, hey, you want this? If not, I mean, I don't know.
And you know what was crazy?
In like 2 seconds, I feel like it was like 2 seconds, he sent me back like the lyrics to it or whatever, or like...
I was actually at work the night he sent me the beat. I was sitting in a car parked outside on the street because I was doing work stuff. And he's like, look, I have this beat, you know, I wanted to send it to you. Kind of sounds like something you would hear at Johnny V's. And I kind of laughed and I was like, wait a second. And I knew instantly that I wanted to name the song Johnny V's. I wrote this song in like 30 minutes tops. and I sent it back to him. I sent him a rough recording, you know, over the iPhone voice recorder and everything. I'm like, yo, Johnny V's was our spot in PB. We would always end the night there. So we would always start at Cabo Cantina. We would always go down the street just to check how, was it Tao? Tavern? Tavern? I think it started with a T. But it was never, like, it was shitty. There was no one there, so we'd always just leave after, like, 5 minutes, and we would always go to Johnny V's. Johnny V's was the spot at the time. It had 2 dance floors, like a lounge area to the left, a circular bar, and then beer pong tables. As you could tell, like from the lyrics too, the front of the front dance floor, it was like cool. You could tell it was definitely more like,
it was like a light beer.
Yeah, it was a light beer. Like, yeah,
what really goes on.
I just want to, you know, like, I want to move.
It's the first date dance floor.
But if you go to the back dance floor, that's where all this shit went down.
Even if you didn't want to end up at Johnny V's,
you would end
even
up
if we didn't want to end up at Johnny. You just ended up there. Even if it was a night, even if it was like a Monday night, and you were like, oh, let's just go out and grab like 1 or 2 drinks, like Johnny V's would not accept that.
Now we're gonna start getting into the actual rapping tracks. And the first one on it was Done Deal.
Got that bags under my fucking eyes, damn right you can tell that your boy
I did it with AOB and Chris Green. I specifically wanted them on this track because they had just released their first album, which is a good. If you haven't heard it by now, make sure you go listen to it. Support the independent artists like them because they are moving. And I wanted to keep that momentum going for them too, so I wanted them on this track too. Especially, I wanted to give them something different to rap to, and just coming out like straight out the gate. And they did good. They killed it.
What's going out? Can I get everybody's undivided attention? I got a particular.
Now, Real Spill, I wanted to fucking dig into the industry. Real Spill was produced.
Oh yeah, I made that beat
too. You made that one too.
Yeah.
This one was a fucking dope song. I love this too. And the main concept of this song was really calling out a lot of the mainstream artists who talk about a lot of shit when it's not what it is. And here I am, just this normal dude who doesn't have, I'm not gonna say I don't have shit, but you know, compared to them, I don't have shit, and yet my rhyme capabilities are so much better. I love music, I always have since I was little, and if you put my lyrics up against the shit that's being put out today in the mainstream industry, it's a complete fucking, it's a polar opposite. And so I was calling them out in the style that I only know how to do, which is really like fast paced and fucking just straightforward. No punchlines, no, you know, hidden metaphors. It was just fucking A to Z. That's it. Okay, and hey man, we're not even in section red and I'm already done with this shit. Like I said, folks, it's gonna get weird. So now we're moving to the Sunshine Interlude. This is the song that most of you guys have hit me up about, saying that it's your favorite, and I'm surprised, honestly. Which, I mean, it's cool by all means. I'm glad you guys enjoy it. It surprised me because this is one of the ones I was nervous about too, because I hate my voice. I can't stand it. But to push myself to a different level, whatever. Taking a sip. Yeah. So this one was produced by That Kid Gorin. Super, like, I love his beats actually, and I wanna do more from him. Sunshine, I wanted to make a 90s style kind of R&B Will Smith TLC type song, you know. And give you, you know, something light, summer vibes going into it. Yeah. You know, it was very clean. There wasn't any like heavy sexual references or you know, like cussing at all. So it was nice, and I'm glad you guys are enjoying it too overall. I originally didn't intend for Section Red to go as explicit as it did. And I will be upfront and honest, and the reason why I put 3 explicit songs on it was because of the pandemic. Honestly. It just, as the pandemic was going on, I just kept writing more and more
I just got hornier and hornier.
frustrated songs.
I need to go out.
I need to go out.
Too much porn.
You cannot contain me. No, but starting it off, like I say, it doesn't just hit you right away. There's still 2 other songs prior to the X-rated stuff, and the first one was Suit and Cologne.
I'ma be real with you. Wanna say I got
So Suit and Cologne is very just overall, it's a chill, get dressed up, go out, have a nice night type song. Produced by PK Beats. I loved the beat. It was a very just chilled back, kind of like sipping on something, you know.
Reminds me of like a lowrider.
Yeah, like a lowrider type beat. I was thinking like, damn, like this is a good song to just really like get dressed up to. Like, one thing about me is I love getting dressed up, like suit wise. Weddings, like this guy's wedding I was at, I was part of his groomsmen, and after that, I had my own suit to change into afterwards.
At my wedding, he had the wardrobe change. Anthony made his entrance after with his new suit on that was like a different fit, different color. It was tight. It's everything I wanted at my wedding anyway. So.
No, but I love suits. I love getting dressed up, but the thing is, I don't like doing it a lot because I feel like it loses value. So that's what I was saying, like in the lyrics, like when you see me dressed up, like in a suit, you know it's a special night. And I feel my most confident with myself when I'm dressed up. You look good, you feel good, you're out and about, maybe, you know, you're hopefully with someone special or alone. Fuck it, you know, just fucking do you, okay? Do you. And I think the reason why I love suits so much too is just because growing up, like we didn't have a lot of money. You know, both of us could attest to that. You know, it just wasn't present. I remember at my uncle David's wedding was the first time I even got it was a fucking cheap you know, like just a little suit. You know, I was a fucking kid, and I just remembered never feeling so cool in my life. I went overboard too. I had a little pimp cane and everything. I have the picture with that too, but still.
We're gonna throw up the picture right now.
We're gonna I just remember feeling so cool, and I loved feeling like that. So when I was finally an adult, I knew that I wanted that feeling again. Yeah. And now we're moving into the most frustrating song on the album for me.
More Than One Night?
More Than One Night. This guy tortured me to death with this song.
Really?
Yeah, because you made me do it, adding those extra layers in.
Oh yeah.
Over.
Yeah. He called it done at one point.
Yeah.
I felt like,
which after it was finally put together, I saw it and it made sense and it sounded so good, but just the process in general.
Kids, what he's trying to say is trust your producers.
Even if it fucking tortures you, just do it, okay? Suck it the fuck up.
If it doesn't torture you, it's not art.
Exactly. So More Than One Night was produced by Dope Boy. This one, again, I wanted to take myself out of my element and challenge myself, because as you know, I don't like my voice. And this one was primarily singing, and I was like, oh my god, I sound like a fucking... I wanted to challenge myself, so I did it. It's about just being in the club, you seeing that one that catches your eye, but you know, just one night with that person just isn't gonna be enough. And as you can see, if you look at the track listing too, it's now starting to transition into something else, right?
Girl, you know what I'ma do.
And here we go.
It's a story. It's a story. Beautiful
the
story.
whole album itself is a story, okay? And I hopefully you guys get the concept of the album.
Lights Out is an OG song.
Lights Out is a very OG song. This is another one that was produced by Jaws. Okay. This is another one that we've had for some time.
For a long time.
Yeah.
We've had this song for so long that I forgot that like I had made the beat or that we had worked it together. It's just kind of like those always been there. That's kind of when I first started getting comfortable like actually working on beats. Because there was energy where I was just like didn't know what I was doing, just hope like going in there blind, hoping like something came out good on the other side, and then Lights Out, I felt like a little better about, and I started catching on.
That's an actual key point that you made. We were just figuring this shit out. You know, we were very new to this shit, and then time passed too, and I went through my realm of shit in life, and I actually just stopped working on music. When we really started picking it back up again, this guy was on a whole nother level already in terms of producing. And you could hear it too in terms of like the beats. I'm not saying like Energy was bad, because again we revisited Energy as well.
That's true.
Later on down the road, but just from initially listening to Energy from what it was to hearing Lights Out, it was a completely different level that he was at. So
it's because Anthony scarred me with Energy, and I was like, oh my god, he's probably gonna ask me to make more beats.
Which I did. And I still do.
It's like, I better figure out how to do this. So what he doesn't know is that in between Energy and Lights Out, there's a bunch of trash beats that have never seen the light of day.
Aw.
Yeah. No, that's not aw. That's thank God.
It's not completely raunchy, but it is very direct. Like, it's like, I like you, you like me, but I'm gonna give it to you. Which then brings us to Nighttime Dracula.
I love this song.
I love this song too. And this one was produced by Trunks Beats. Nighttime Dracula, again, this is where you start to just get into my twisted brain, because it's based off of what is it, Carol of the Bells?
Yeah, like the beat.
The Christmas song, yeah, the Christmas song. And I wanted to make it about sex, but also have a fucking Dracula horror type theme song to it. And it's like, what the fuck am I listening to?
I think the most visuals in this song, like
most
that
visuals
go through your head when you listen to it. You're picturing Dracula. You're picturing the Count from Sesame Street.
Yep, you have the bats that you put in there.
Oh yeah,
like, which is phenomenal.
Bats.
Yeah, it's phenomenal, and this is my favorite one, like hands down. God,
it's a fun Halloween tune.
I think you should play it at Christmas. I really wanted to base it off of. I don't want to say kink. I don't want to say kink because that sounds.
Oh no, yeah, 100%.
But that sounds weird. Well, it doesn't. But
yeah.
Vampire, biting, shit like that. Like there's a
shit like that.
Like one of your main, like your SCM, it's called. Like that's the short term. It's your SCM in your neck that I like to bite down on when conducting certain activities with another consenting adult. That's what helped me get into the role of Dracula. Because I like, basically, if we get into it, I'm biting you, okay? Fuck, let's be direct. Okay, I'm gonna bite the shit out of you.
He wore a cape during recording.
I wore a fucking cape during the shit.
A cape.
I got into character.
But the cape was there, so there's authenticity in it.
Is red.
Which then leads us to Red.
Red?
Alright.
This is all you.
Red.
Explain yourself.
I told myself that if I ever made a porno, what was it gonna be like? And I started writing to it. And I wanted to just let it fly. Honestly, I was gonna hold nothing back. If it got raunchy, it was gonna get raunchy, and then I sent it to you to mix.
Yeah, he didn't tell me any of that.
I didn't tell him shit.
There was moans in it and just stuff. My door was already closed, working on Music All Loud. My wife's in the next room, and so this shit comes on, and I'm like, oh my god. And so I mixed most of that. Like, there's mix. If you hear it, like it's doing things. So like I was mixing it, which includes playing it over and over again. So like I had my headphones on, I had like one eye like on the door, just like, oh my god. Yeah, that was thanks for that.
You're welcome, dude. Honestly, like I said, I was just gonna let it fly, as nasty as I could be. Shout out to all my Scorpios. But I knew that after that, like, I just didn't want to keep fucking going and keep getting raunchier and raunchier and raunchier, so I cut it at that. Which leads us to the Descent. Now, the Descent itself, I knew that I really wanted to open up and talk about shit. And... you know, like, I think it was time, because that's for me, like, I've never been one to really, like, talk about anything that's been, like, going on until it gets to the point where, like, I'm already very damaged off of it, which I think a lot of us do, but now it was me just explaining or expressing that, like, hey, I'm also a little fucked up, too. Not a little, a lot, as you can see through the songs, but,
I'm seeing Dr.
Yep, let's just get you checked in.
So we opened this Descent with a therapy check-in skit. So I've been going to therapy basically all throughout my life, honestly. And I've always had this negative, is it connotation? Connotation?
I think so. Yeah,
connotation about therapy itself, because of the fact that you're paying somebody just to fucking listen to you. And you don't really know if, like, they genuinely care about you or if they're just trying to get a paycheck. I know if therapy helps you, by all means, keep going. Take care of your mental health. But for me, it's always been difficult because I'm trying to talk about real shit to someone I don't really know. And I don't know if they genuinely, like I said, genuinely care, or if they're just there because that's their occupation. So, with therapy check-in skit, I wanted to do like a serious topic, but also make it in terms of like a comedy thing, to where like the fucking everyone's just kind of blowing me off, which is funny because I had the two nicest people, his wife and EFNY's his brother's wife, play my therapist, and like the receptionist.
They're assholes, man.
They're complete assholes to me. And but in real life, like, these people, them and fucking Jaws and his brother, have been, like, the ones who helped me the most. So I wanted to just give them this complete opposite role. Just, you know, it was
very good actors.
Yeah, they're very good actors. So yeah, good job, guys. Thanks again.
Wake up every day, all work, no play, low pay for the same motion.
With that being said, it goes straight into problems. And problems, there was no hooks. It was problem after problem after problem after problem that I was facing. Some of them is shit. Some of them still to this day. And it was very direct. I wasn't going to beat around the bush with this shit. Like, these are my problems. I haven't found a way to solve them. And, like, it's fucking me up immensely. I actually got a lot of responses about that one too, just because from people who have connected with it. And it was nice to know that this one spoke to them the most. So that was nice. Problems was another one that was done by you.
Yeah.
Problems was done by him.
Another older beat, yeah.
Yep.
That was pretty cool, because I feel like, in a sense, we worked on it together, because I was on the keyboard, like, I was coming up with the stuff, and you were basically saying, yeah, I like that. And, like, I was playing some things that I thought were, like, cool. And then if I didn't get like, oh, that's dope, I would just move on to, like, something else. Mm-hmm. So it was kind of a cool, like, you were the brains. Like, I was, like, the hands, like, trying to, like, come up with something.
Exactly,
like, oh,
yeah. This one was very therapeutic to work on, too. Just overall, it was a very therapeutic project. Drug Memories was produced by Tuna Beats. I wanted to even push further into just the shit that just lingers in my life. A lot of family abuse growing up. Just abuse in general from, like, childhood friends. The fucking almost school shooting that took place when I was in 7th grade from the kid that brought a gun to school. And then, as you know, like, I'm also a Marine. I was in the Marine Corps. My first deployment was to Afghan. You know, we took a lot of IDF. I was never in direct combat. I want to clear that up and just be upfront about it. Because, again, I don't want to be one of those guys who talks about shit that didn't happen. But we did take IDF, which is indirect fire. So mortars, RPGs, you know, whatever the fuck they wanted to shoot at us from a distance. You know, shit that still just affects me to this day. Those memories I can't get rid of. Like, they're just buried in my fucking head. And I wanted to talk about it more. Angels and Demons, though, came about because, like, my family has always been prone to, like, paranormal experiences. It's been weird. Like, we have our stories, like, that I can remember since I was a kid. Like, I've seen fucking orbs on orbs on orbs. I've seen lights turns on by themselves. I will never do it again. Okay? But I have messed with the Ouija board. And I didn't end it in the right way. Stupid of me. And I think I think that's what also played a factor in why I experience more shit now. Whatever. We'll go into that in a different video. But I love Angels and Demons too because it's a very rough, fucking hardcore beat. Like, I remember when we first listened to this shit on the HS8s right here. Yeah, it was very just in your face, just rough and fucking just hard.
It's one of those beats where you have this face the whole time.
You just like fucking turn it on and we're like, God damn, alright. But I knew that the message, I still wanted to be fucking dark too. But at the same time, you can still just fucking turn up to if you wanted. I have my experiences and it's fucking scary, okay? Don't go looking for this shit because it will show up and it will not leave. And that's how this song came about.
I don't really know how all my friends be fucking doing it.
Fear of God. This one is another one of my favorites, which was produced by both of us. Like, he started the beat, then I added to it, and then we both got together to finish it. And this was the orchestral beat that I was talking to you guys about. I knew I wanted to be orchestral. I knew I wanted to be dark and horror themed and very like church oriented with the organ and violins and just strings. And it was such a beautiful instrumentation that came out from that song. But it's questions that so many of us who have, who walk this path of faith, have throughout life, that I know for me, because we had conversations about this, that I was hoping when I put this out, I didn't offend anyone, but I wanted to ask because I've been wanting to ask these questions for so long, and every time I tried to bring it up to certain people, they would just look at me like I was a fucking devil worshiper. And I'm like, yo, I'm nowhere saying this shit. Like, I just have questions because all of our walks of faith are different. And all of our perception of the Bible and, if we go to church and what they're saying, like the scriptures and shit like that, is different. And it's like, who are you to tell me how to, get closer to God? And with faith, it's very hard for me just to be like, okay, this is it. Like, this is the way, So for F.O.G, I hope you guys really paid attention to the lyrics, because I tell you straight up, like, I believe in God. I've accepted fucking Christ as my savior. I just have questions. That's it. Letter of Apology was produced by That Kid Gorin again. Super cool dude. Thank you for being so cool. If you ever watch this video, Letter of Apology, I had wrote for some time, but I never pushed it out because I wasn't in the best headspace yet. I knew it was needed I knew I needed to say it because 2017, March 3rd, 2017, I tried to fucking kill myself, for those of you who don't know. Okay. I was in a very, very, very dark place getting out of after the Marine Corps. A lot of us veterans go through heavy separation anxiety because the military doesn't prepare you to go back into the civilian life. Once you say that you are about to exit, they're like, okay, bye. And it's a very harsh transition for a lot of us that we're not able to cope with. So I moved back in with my parents. Had to find this bullshit job at a bank, which I hated. I was making fucking no money. I had child support due. My kid, who I had to leave for 4 years, was completely different. I was in a long-term off and on relationship who I never should have been with for 6 years. Finally told me that she never loved me, that it was all a lie basically, and I was broke as fuck. I racked up almost $20,000 in debt. I was feeling so alone. Like I was just, it all at once. It was so much that I just didn't know what to do, and which led to the events in March in 2017. And after that, I knew that a lot of things needed to change, but I was still dealing with a lot of the problems I was. And like I told you guys, this dude is practically my brother now. Like the whole Wispel family. Can I say Wispel? We can cut that out. But okay, the whole Wispel family.
Tell no one my identity.
Yeah, is like my family, and they've always been so good to me. And like I've had the same group of friends for over a decade, and I was just so fucked up that throughout that period for a few years, like I just distanced myself from them, when all of them were really just trying to help me as much as they could. And so Letter of Apology was, my apology to all of them. And it was, to them, because of their good hearts, they're always like, no, it's fine. Like that's what we do. We're family. Like we all care about each other and everything like that. But it's like, no, like I still need to say this because that was not me. And, I was at my lowest, and you guys were still there even when I was acting like a complete fucktard. So yeah, thank you again, by the way. So that was Letter of Apology, and I knew that song was gonna go on the album for a while. I just needed to get into a better headspace to actually put it out. Go Away was produced by this guy again. Now, Go Away was the first ever song that I rapped for him and his brother out on my Uncle David's patio. We used to go to his house to basically party and everything like that and turn up. And whenever we would go out to the patio, we were about to have like a serious talk. That was the spot for like serious talks, was the patio.
Patio was a sacred space.
Yeah, and I just remember
that was after enough drink. After enough. I don't know what we were drinking back then.
Who knows at that point?
That was the end of 151. That might have been the Everclear night.
Oh, Jesus.
But after you had enough of that, it was out to the balcony.
Yep.
For some. So you closed the sliding doors so everyone else could keep partying inside.
You can talk about whatever you want. You can cry. You can scream. You can do what you want to do, and then come back and continue partying, or go to sleep. But yeah, so I remember just one night, I finally worked up enough courage to sit out there and rap to them, and they're just like, holy shit. But that's just, and nothing came about it, because that's what really started me to. Like, okay, like this is like let's put a song together, and then we came out with Energy. But Go Away was really like the first fucking one, and so I knew I wanted to finish off this album with Go Away, which is paying homage to the beginning again. I knew I wanted to be a full-on just fucking rock, low-key metal type song because I love it. And so I had all of Jaws on there, Jared, Jacob, and DJ on the drums.
And that was fun, because I don't know if you ever heard Jaws music, but it's very simple.
You should, okay? You should.
It's very simple kind of songwriting and stuff, and then we all came together to somehow put together like what you would call more of a metal song.
Yeah.
And so, which is very flattering, by the way. Thank you for thinking that we could just shit out a metal song. But
that solo, by the way.
Yeah, that solo, by the way, took like 7 takes. There's like, it's like in parts, but no, we'll probably cut that part out and just say like I shredded that one take.
But Go Away, honestly, it's such an immense project, and I loved working on this. Like, and I think going into the future, like we told each other too, like, this is the fucking bar right here that all of our songs going forward, just because we put so much into it in terms of production wise, and like the lyrics itself were just fucking phenomenal. So this definitely is one of our best songs that we did together.
This is really like where we swapped, because I feel like you produced this song and I had like performed it, because I was just trying to do as best as what I could, part by part, that you were feeling or you were like directing. And not until I finished it did I realize like wow, this is a sick song. That like, this is what you had in your head the whole time, and I wasn't like I had like limited vision. Just okay, that part's done. Okay, he wants this part here. Okay, that's done. We got DJ in, we got Jacob in, and then at the end I was like, oh shit, he had this in his head. Like listener as a listener, not like any kind of like production part of it. I was like, wow, this is a pretty sick, complete, full vision that he had in his head this whole time.
Definitely more of that coming your way. Okay, so get your fingers ready.
I'll snap out back at a beat.
Well, I knew I wanted to close the album off with just such a massive, immense project like that, but I knew I wanted one more challenge for myself for the album, which is why I gave you Speed Test, which is a bonus song of the album. Speed Test, as you guys know, like I love doing fast-paced, like chopper style lyrics, because again, it matches like the sporadicness of my brain. Okay, I'm always moving a million miles a fucking hour. And Speed Test, it's not as fast as I could go. What the challenge is getting out the different patterns and syllables, which we had talked about, you know, going forward. I could definitely go faster, but you need to. The challenge is clarity. Okay, that's always been the hardest part in terms of any type of speed. With Speed Test, I wanted to not like focus on, yes, like it's fast, cool, but the patterns is what I wanted to push out to you guys. Straightforward song, you know what I'm saying? I'm challenging myself, and at the end I'm challenging anybody that really wants to push themselves to the limit. Let's do it. I'm all for it. Let's team up. Let's give the listeners something fucking dope. Closing thoughts on the album. I'm so glad that it's finally out, because it's such a wonderful project. And I say that because I'm the one that put it out, but just from a listening standpoint, like, it's a good album. And I hope you guys really pay attention to what I'm saying within it and have fun, or get freaky deaky to it. Whatever you're doing at the moment while it's on, I hope you have fun. And or if it's just a moment of reflection for you guys, honestly, like, just to let you guys know that, like, you're not alone. We're all having problems, and if you guys need to fucking let it out, I'm here. Whenever, wherever.
I feel like I like the album as a whole, because it's a very, like, it's a fully human experience, I think, because it starts off like for a lack of a better term, it's like surface level, and then it gets more deep. And I just feel like a lot of people, you only see the side of them who are the booty song, or you only see the side of them who are like, section red, but you don't really get to see the side that's the descent. Like, it's just about, like, there's a surface level, but deeper, it's like, maybe I'm going out and partying because, like, there's all this shit that I'm carrying and stuff like that, or whatever. And I think that, like, people, you can listen to just one of these songs. You could just pick, the booty song and judge this dude's just a party rapper, or you can pull out Lights Out and you can judge, like, oh, well, this guy's just some, like, one of the just sexual and dirty. But you listen to the album as a whole and you get the whole picture, and I think that's, like, how people are. And, like, you can get judged surface level, but we are not any one song. We are whole albums.
Yeah.
In a sense.
That's deep.
And I think that's like this album is. It's like, it really is an album. It's not just a song of, like, bangers trying to make singles, like, as much as there are bangers, like, all the way down the list. It's like, it's a full picture of a person, And it's a hell of a way to come out for a debut album. Like, it really just, like,
Yeah.
I think puts everything out there. So it's really cool in that sense, and also a cool reminder. It's just like there are surface level things and there are deeper things to really everyone.
That was a good fucking breakdown.
And it fucking slaps.
And it slaps.
So go listen to it right now.
Yeah.
It looks like this. Yep. So if you see that,
it's out
that's the
everywhere.
right
so
thing.
Keep listening to it. And thank you.
Damn.